Hi everybody. Hope you're having a great Sunday. I'm going to talk about making big decisions, and before I do that, I'm going to just show you a little bit about why I love this time of year. So I'm out there, front yard, and I'm collecting maple syrup. It's that time of year when maple syrup is flowing, and it's a great time of year to actually collect maple syrup. So what I'm doing here, see if I can do this. There we go. So I've made a hole in some of my maple trees, as you can see, and you can see it's collecting some sap. That's from approximately an hour ago. It's pretty cool, and I love this because the sun's coming out and it's a beautiful time to be outside. It's a beautiful time to be enjoying wilderness and enjoying just life, just being there. But I have some big decisions to make in my life, and I've talked about this before. How do we make the big decisions in our lives? How do we come up with the solution that we're looking for? And so yeah, we can list the pros and the cons. Hi Michelle, hi Etienne, and on the list, which I've done, why this makes more sense and other situation and what you want out of life. And after you've done that, you're probably no further ahead in making the decision. You can toss a coin, and I've talked about that too. You toss a coin and then you measure how the feeling is of making that decision with that coin. And my good friend Heather Moyse does that, and I think it's a wonderful way to make a decision. But this weekend I decided to do something a little different. I decided to basically stop drinking coffee and alcohol for a couple of days, eat a little cleaner, and do more yoga. And I decided to basically visualize after my yoga what it would feel like if that decision was made. What would it feel like with the possibilities of having made that decision? Visualization and feeling. And saying yes to the possibilities if you want, if I made one side of the decision or the other. And it's really wonderful when you start visualizing the possibilities. All of a sudden the barriers are removed. All of a sudden the excuses, the reasons are removed. And I realized during that process that I was repeating the same process, the same ego, the same limitations that I had 20 years ago. And I remember, if I play it out in my mind, when I should have left did a certain decision, and I decided that I wouldn't do that because I didn't have the self-confidence to do that. I was lacking the self-confidence to understand that I could do things on my own differently. And I realized that during the process of visualization that I was just basically repeating that same life, that same narrative, that same reasoning, by letting my ego talk to me. So as I sat there in Shavasana, or just lay there on the floor after a 2-hour yoga period, I imagined myself and I saw myself exactly in the same spot. And I started to understand the power of visualization. I started to understand that we are the thoughts that we believe. If we, in our back of our mind, believe we're not good enough, we don't have enough, if we, in the back of our minds, believe that the world is unfair, well, that's what we're going to get. We're going to get an unfair world. If we believe truly in our minds that we live in a place of abundance, and that you truly understand and believe what you want out of life, then you're going to get that. And then I started to realize what had happened to me after I lost the lawsuit. I actually saw myself today. I actually saw myself in 8 years and saying, after the lawsuit, and saying, here's where I'll be. And the path wasn't sure, the how or the what, but the why was sure. Visualization and the secret, it's a lot less about affirmative thoughts than it is about affirmative feelings. So if you can imagine yourself feeling something, doesn't matter if it's a brand new car or if it's a new relationship, if you can visualize yourself with that feeling, or winning the gold at an Olympic, whatever it is, right? You will get that visualization so deep inside your bones that you will actually feel it happening today. And you may not know how or what you're going to do, but you know why you're doing it, and you know it's going to come true. So that's what I practiced today to make my decision on my big decision in life, which I'll let you know soon enough. And it was a great experience. So I would probably encourage you to try that when you have a big decision in your life. Stop drinking coffee, stop alcohol and drugs so you can have a clear mind. Do intense exercise. I prefer yoga, but you can do whatever you want. And then meditate and visualize how it would feel to make that decision, to live that life, to live that possibility, how it feels. And it's going to be a pretty easy decision. I hope you have a great Sunday. I'm going to go tap some more trees and then relax. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Tune in at Facebook Live for Dovo tomorrow. It hopefully will be an interesting one. Thanks for chiming in.